right. Welcome back, man. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
That's some delicious glühwein, man.
Glühwein.
All dressed up, admiring the hat.
Thank you, thank you. This is the Christmas Supreme
Oh, hell yeah.
gnome.
Gnome, the
Gnome.
buff gnome. Yes.
So what's with the getup? I see you got the SBD.
Hell yeah, I thought I would bring it back. Put the suit back on.
Santa Bad Daddy. I don't know.
Hell yeah. That's what it stands for, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's Christmas, man. Thought I would see if I would fit this once again. I told you before we started this recording, actually surprised I fit in this still. I was like, last time I had this on was back in Sweden. When I think I bought it for like a Christmas party.
Yeah.
And then I weighed about like a little over 80 kilograms. I was a tiny boy. So, but it still fits. But I'm just above 3 digits now again.
Yeah.
I'm about like 101 with clothes on.
That's sick. Yeah. Big
So,
boy.
yeah. But yeah, it's Christmas Eve tomorrow. How do you feel? Are you psyched?
Yeah, of course I am, man.
Yeah.
It's always fun. I love the holidays. The family gets together. It's a good time.
Yeah. Do you have any special like traditions when it comes down to Christmas in your family?
I think they're fairly ordinary. We have, of course, we watch Kalle Anka's Jul.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
That's a must.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
And we eat several times. We have some glühwein. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about it.
Do you have any like particular set of foods you like have to have on the Christmas table? Or are you like, of course you maybe eat what you get, but do you prefer any like certain foods?
Well, I like to see some meatballs
Of course.
and some prinskorv,
Yeah.
which is the,
The Swedish term.
the very small knackor,
Yeah.
the small sausages.
Yeah.
And I like to have some good ham.
Yeah.
And maybe some. This is not a must, but some turkey, smoked turkey.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm of course potatoes with bechamel sauce, the
okay.
white sauce.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I feel like potatoes are like quite. I don't think it's underrated, but I don't eat potatoes that much.
Yeah.
Like almost never.
Yeah.
But on Christmas, especially Christmas Eve, I like to have them.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it is. I just feel when you make something out of potatoes, like when you're making your own dishes at home or something like that, it's so boring to make. It's boring to eat as well, I think. So that's why I don't eat it as much. I'm more of a pasta guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I eat a lot of tubers, potatoes.
Yeah, tubers.
They're tubers.
Yeah.
At home, we eat potatoes almost with every meal, so
Okay.
it's a regular food item for me.
Yeah, I believe it's quite Finnish.
Yeah, it's
Like,
very Finnish.
It's a Finnish type of meal.
Yeah, well, it's what we can grow here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
True that. But how about like we talked about traditions overall? We talked about Christmas, but do you have any like other like traditions during the whole year you like prioritize, or don't you like include them that much? Or do you feel they are important for you?
some more, some less.
Yeah.
It depends on what the folks are doing, what the friends are doing. You know, I wouldn't find any tradition just by myself, you know, one of those yearly occurring traditions of any importance. It's the people that make it fun.
Yeah. And I do believe that's like the beauty of traditions, that it
Yeah.
brings people together, especially like people and maybe family members or just like friends that you don't spend that much time with as much.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing with traditions like Christmas, like Easter, and like events like that. It like get together, because nowadays I feel like I don't have that much connection to my older friends as I used to, because I moved here to Vasa and I got a lot of like friends in Närpö, but I still got some in Vasa and a lot of friends in Sweden, which we made during our uni years. So it's quite divided throughout Europe. But I don't know. I still feel like I haven't lost that connection, but I don't spend that much time with them, because I prioritize things like training and now that I met my girlfriend, things like that, just doing other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any special traditions that you and your family do?
You mean during Christmas or overall?
No, Christmas.
Special and special. I mean, we bring the family together often, the ordinary family members, and sometimes even my like aunt or some cousins. And this year my grandma and grandpa will come there, which has been a long time, because they always tend to have their own like schedule, but this year they will come to our house, so that's nice. So that's like the whole program for Christmas Eve. We make like all of the food together, like in the early on in the day, throughout the day. Then we go to the like cemetery, light some candles for our loved ones that has passed away, and honor those lives. And after that we go home, watch some Kalle Anka, and after that we like eat the food. After the like main food, like the ham, the fish, the like main courses, we open the like gifts. And after we open the gifts and all that, we take like the dessert, like coffee, some brandy, some like if we have some.
Maybe.
What do you say?
Glühwein, maybe?
Yeah, glühwein, but we drink glühwein earlier as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like before we watch the television shows and things like that. And yeah, I think it's quite ordinary though, that type of like tradition on Christmas. But on the 25th, I think that's called the Boxing Day. Is it?
Isn't it Christmas Day?
Is Christmas Eve that? I don't know.
I don't know.
But it's like Christmas Day, 25th. Then we usually go to like grandma and grandpa with the whole like all of our cousins and like of course the family, but other families as well. It's quite a big gathering. And then we eat. Eat a lot of food, because my like whole, my grandma, my grandpa, almost all of my cousins are like fishermen. Like, they fish a lot, so then we like to eat a lot of fish, but of course some elk, some ham, try different types of like mustards and things like that. Yeah. But the days after that, we just take it easy, spend some time with the family and things like that. Yeah.
Me and my friends in Perto, my little village, we usually have a Christmas party on the 25th.
Okay.
I don't know if we're having it this year, but there's usually a party on the 25th.
Yeah. Do you have any like plans for New Year's Eve?
No, I don't.
Me neither. I'm not sure why, because I always like to plan these things. But I don't know. This year I haven't prioritized that as much. So we'll see what the plans will be.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I just want to like take it easy. Would be nice with some sauna or something like that.
Yeah.
To be on the like summer house or
Yeah.
like more just calm and cozy, chillax environment.
Mm-hmm.
Drink some glühwein or some beers.
Mm-hmm.
Just hang out.
Yep.
Things like that. But nothing special. We had that idea, me and my girlfriend, if we would like plan a skiing trip.
Oh.
But it looks like that maybe we'll have to wait until February or like further along to the winter, because we have some vacation days left that we want to like spend during the winter, because we love to ski.
Mm-hmm.
So then we like thought we could like plan a whole week, just go to Lapland, Ruka or someplace like that, and just rent a cabin, I think, with some friends, and then just spend the week there. So that's the plan right now, but we see.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Yeah, but talking about next year, do you have any like plans or goals for next year, or things like to implement? Could be both general life and training as well, but do you have anything you like thought about this next year?
Well, training wise, I'm just going to increase my frequency. I'm at the point where I feel I'm going to have to push that variable to see more gains.
Yeah.
Because I've been running a very low frequency, low volume right now. And I'm making gains, but very slowly. So I think I'm gonna try increasing the frequency already now. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Okay.
And also push up, not just increase the frequency, but also increase the volume a little bit.
Yeah. Do you like to proceed the same type of approach to your training? Like,
I think it's going to be fairly similar.
Yeah.
Just right now it's more of like an upper lower, so I might just put it 2 more upper lower days and maybe cut back the volume on all of the days, but the volume will still be more than before.
Do you have any like specific goal in mind? You talked about like changing the variables, but do you have like any specific weight you want to reach, or more type of performance-based goal, or you just want to play it out?
No, I'm just planning get stronger in every lift.
Yeah.
Increase size on all my body parts,
Hell yeah.
including penis.
Hell yeah, that's what it's all about. You heard it here, folks.
It is possible.
It is possible.
A lot of people don't know this.
Quite experienced. Yeah.
No, but all around, get better, bigger, stronger, and I feel like maybe healthier too. As winter has come now, I've found less opportunity to do just general cardio, and when it was not snowy, wintry, I did more walking after meals and stuff like that to get better digestion, but now it's not as fun when it's like a shit ton of snow outside and all that, so I'm thinking of like maybe doing some cross-country skiing or something like that. That's to nice. Like switch it out, the walking.
Yeah, and I think skiing is really nice because it's really enjoyable. And by the way, I love the winter, especially when it's like it's right now. You can see it, but it's like really chilly, really cold temperature, which I like, and it's really this winter wonderland type of environment. It's when it's get like soggy and like hot temperature, when everything melts. It's when there's like this soggy temperature. I hate that.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone likes that.
No,
It's a little bit depressing. The snow is going. It's like messy everywhere. It like feels messy.
So I hope it sticks. But I think
we have so much now that I think that this might be here to stay all winter.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But I probably jinxed it now.
Yeah, because unfortunately I looked at the forecast and it will get a lot warmer to the this weekend.
Oh.
So it will probably melt a lot. So I hope it gets back until Christmas Eve and next week.
Yeah.
So let's hope for the best.
But it would have to get pretty warm for all of this to melt. Until Christmas.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's enough. I hope not.
I don't. Yeah. Let's hope so.
But
what about you? Do you have any goals and plans?
I don't know if I have specific goals in mind right now, but as we talked about these previous episodes, I've taken up the assignment on working on my weak points and actually working on them. Therefore, the raw training approach. I'm training totally without equipment, without the belt, the sleeves, the wraps, you name it. Like I said last time, I'm still using different kinds of shoes. I use flats when I deadlift and elevated heels sometimes when I squat, but I can squat with the flats as well. But that's it, because I really notice how weak and unstable I am in certain lifts. The squat, which I have known for a long time, but I haven't done anything about it really before now. So I will focus a lot on that, and previously I stated that I maybe just would do it until the end of this year. But I think I will do it I don't know, permanently, but I could even do that, only train raw, but take and use the equipment when I go for the competitions. So that's one idea I have, and I think it's quite it's a good idea, quite healthy idea. Training totally raw, because using these knee sleeves and wraps all the time is compensating for your flaws, for your weaknesses. So why not just work on it naturally? So that's my plan. Just keep doing what I do right now. And the hardest thing for me is actually embracing it and let myself train with lighter weights now. It's been an issue for me because I didn't know this within myself earlier, but I do have, or not as much anymore, but I have had an quite ego problem. I have known it, but I didn't know it was as big as I thought. So that's something I notice now when I'm doing the weights, because I've always had that mindset before that I have to lift heavy all the time. I have to lift, I have to use this equipment and things like that. So now when I let that go, it's a huge weight has dropped from my shoulders. So I think that's a pretty healthy change for me right now. And I will stick to that, but it's hard to tell, hard to estimate specific goals. I will try to look for more competitions next year. I don't know if it will be for early summer or autumn or even next year after that, but it would be nice to at least compete once next year. We'll see if it will be SBD or specific lifts. It would be fun and interesting to try a competition where it's only one lift, competing only in bench. Or something like that, because then I would like to get myself into specific training, just only training for the bench, and then
I'll definitely join if it's just a bench.
Hell yeah. So that would be fun, but we'll see. So now it's just to focus on the weak points, not forgetting about the strengths, but that again has been my issue in the past. Like I've been knowing about my weaknesses, but I've been like only going all out on my strengths.
Yeah.
A good example of that is like, let's say the bench or the overhead press. I have often used quite narrow grip
Yeah.
due to I know that my triceps are strong. So I thought like, why not just embrace my strength and master it? And that's a good option to like use, even a good mindset to have.
Yeah.
But I forgot along the way about what I like weak at, things like that. So that's like my focus now to balance it out. I will still like, of course, use my strengths because you have to do that if you want to progress, but never forget about the weaknesses as well because they're just as important.
That's actually a reflection I had about you a long time ago.
And you said nothing.
No, I didn't. Because I didn't know what to think about it at that point in time.
Yeah.
I think I thought about this when we started living together in Umeå. I was like, why do you want to train more triceps and more overhead press when you already have these massive numbers in all the well, they weren't massive, but they were good, and you had big muscles in those areas. And then we discovered like calf training, and you had like fairly decent like big calves. And then we started going hard on calves. So it's always I noticed the pattern like, if he has a strength, he's going to focus on that. And
damn straight. And that's like, it's something I reflected on myself for a long time. But again, my mindset have been like, I saw early on that my triceps responded and developed quite strongly and like fast. Because I do believe I got quite good genetics in the triceps as well.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to like not only abuse it but use it more and more and more. Because to be fair, I have not only trained triceps a lot, but I trained them very intense. I had even days I trained the 3 different exercises just for the triceps. Just wanted to go all out. Yeah. But just wanted them to grow more, and I was pleased with them a long time ago, but it was like, I want more because can't have enough. I can, they're big, but they can still be bigger.
Yeah.
And I think that again is like that high, that I have quite high standards in the gym, while my standards are lower throughout anything else. But like, I don't know, I looked the other way. When it came to my weaknesses again, I knew about them. I've always known that maybe my strengths are things like, again, triceps, shoulders are quite a big point, and quads, I would say.
Yeah.
Then we have weaknesses like maybe my chest. My chest lacked for a long time. It actually has developed a lot during the maybe 2 years, I would say. Still, I won't say it's my weakest point. Still one of my weak points, but it's gotten a lot better. Another thing is my back. My back, like visually, and if you look at it in an aesthetic way, it is my number one strength. Because I do believe, again, I have quite good back genetics.
Yeah.
Especially upper back. But I would say lower back as well.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when it comes to strength, I never trained back.
Well, no.
Not never, but not in the way...
Traditional, like targeting specifically, but your raw power deadlift technique has sort of influenced your back development. I'm quite sure of that.
In that way, but now I'm speaking more of like, especially upper back. We talk about like rows, pull-ups. It's like I can deadlift like 240 but can't even do 5 pull-ups.
Pretty heavy guy,
But
still.
that's something I've been working on now as well lately. Prioritizing more like upper back strength. Because when I did rows, I often did like 8 reps or higher rep stuff.
Yeah.
I never did rows like for a longer period of time, especially for strength. I could have rows programmed, but then I fell off because I thought they were boring. And that's the thing as well. A lot of people think or say, what is your favorite muscle group to train? They say back. For me it's actually one of my least favorites.
I see.
Not right now. I've started to like appreciate them more, but I didn't hate training it, but it wasn't as enjoyable if you compare it to things like shoulders, quads, calves, arms. Like I could train them, but I didn't get that same satisfaction as the other ones. So that's why I didn't have the same motivation to like proceed the mastering of like things like that. Yeah.
I definitely have periods where I've focused more on my strengths, one being maybe more like biceps.
Really?
I've always had like a visual, it looks fairly good because I have a peaked biceps.
You have the peak.
So I like training it because I could see it.
Exactly.
But I have, I think, good chest genetics. I can get a big chest fast.
Yeah, I think you do.
But because I know like, I can just train it and it'll like blow up.
Yeah.
I've had years, well, not fully years, but I've had like at least a stint that was like a year long where I didn't even train it directly at all. Because I was like, I can do this fast if I want it back, you know?
Yeah. Exactly. And I wanted to go back. I stumbled upon the back, but actually my biggest weaknesses of them all is my glutes.
Yeah.
And like you remember back in the day, I used to make this joke that when you look at my glutes, I say it's an inward thing, that it goes like in.
Yeah.
It's so small that it goes the other way. But now I finally like the latest again, maybe 2-3 years, and especially latest year I've developed my glutes quite nicely.
Yeah.
They're still not where I want them, but made some great progress for them, because I can actually see the weaknesses now. I've always, for example, squatted in a narrow stance, therefore quad dominance. But I've also, now I can see I also have quite weak hip flexors, and quite bad, like in the deadlift, I would say it's the locking out. It's like hip thrust, the hinge.
Yeah.
That's my biggest weakness right now that I'm working on. So I've started to incorporate more hip thrusts, because I also noticed when you, me, and my girlfriend were like training maybe a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
She could do like, I don't remember exactly, but she went up to like maybe 160 on the hip thrust, while I have 2 plates, 100 kg, and I was struggling, but holy shit, I'm weak. But I've never done, again, same with the rows, I've done some hip thrust, but not regularly, very seldom. So that's just another like sign of maybe things like frequency, and why I think powerlifting has its benefits, because powerlifting focuses a lot on frequency, and if you want to get good at something, strong at something, you have to do it more. Therefore, that's a big reason why I'm weak at things like rows. I'm weak at hip thrust because I never did them.
Yeah.
I did them, but not as much as I would have needed to.
Yeah.
So that's, again, something I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
But like I said, I talked about you saw these changes and like these like issues maybe that like look the other way for my weaknesses back in the day. I still have done that for a long time, and I got to thinking like, why is that? It's like, especially now with the Southwest aesthetics and like ACE talks, when I teach about this stuff, like you should focus on these weaknesses and do this and do that for like both good health and growth in the gym and all these like positive uplifting messages. And then I'm like, but I don't do this for myself.
Yeah.
Because like that's hypocritical.
Yeah.
But it is real that, but I got thinking, but why haven't I done that? Like, I have done a lot of things I preach about that I do for myself, but especially the things with this raw training. I know I don't need the like wrist wraps or knee sleeves. I don't, but I just like to have them on. But again, it was an ego thing.
Yeah.
So it was just an interesting reflection we got the other day when we talked about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you have to. It could be easier if you like vocalize it to yourself, like you realize it then and there. Like, hey, how about this?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But it's really interesting. But I do think almost everyone nowadays are hypocrites.
Yeah, most
they
are.
like say or like preach about one thing, you should do this or like live this lifestyle, and then they don't live it at all themselves. It's like very manipulative in a way. But I think in today's society it's quite common. Sadly it is, but I do believe it is.
I think one of the biggest, well, I think people inherently understand this, and that is that marketing and ads that we see on TV, we see on social medias. Nowadays we get a lot more ads on social media, and we see these like really famous people like repping some Hugo Boss perfume or I don't know what other companies, just bullshit. It's not like they use that shit. And you might have like Messi drinking Pepsi Max, but no, he doesn't. It's all marketing is hypocritical. And that's my hot take. I don't know
I
think most marketing is hypocritical.
They are.
Because it's just to sell shit.
Yeah, and it's not only, like I said, it's not only companies, but they are especially that.
Yeah.
But more and more, like ordinary individuals, like everyone, literally, is becoming more hypocritical.
Yeah.
Don't know quite the specific pattern behind it, but I've noticed it along the years.
I think it could also have something to do with the fact that everyone is like trying to put up this front, this face, this.
Yeah, that's something else I've talked about, and I write a lot about in my my book, which I can talk more about in this episode as well.
Yeah.
But as you know, I like first of all, I'm really into psychology, so I really like to both analyze other people's behaviors, but especially my own, for like personal growth, and that's something I've worked a lot on, especially this year. But the thing is, you maybe know this, but I've been quite the people pleaser for a long time, like putting on this front, quite the optimist. I'm still the optimist, by the way, but more getting into my realistic personality. Things like that, and really see like how much that does, like reality check you get. But a lot of people are like that. They put on a front, like a fake face, like manipulative. because it is quite toxic.
Yeah.
And that's like something I believe would be good for a lot of people to strive for authenticity.
Yeah.
Like people nowadays care way too much about like not only what other people think of you, but they care about other people and like what they are doing and things like
Yeah.
that. Like you should always just live your own life, and if someone has a grudge against you, that's their problem, not
Yep.
yours. You should always live your life as you want to live your life, because you can't like fake some beliefs or reactions because it's fake.
Yeah.
And like I said, things like be more authentic, do the things you want to do, and if that causes a problems in like other people's reactions, that it's their issue.
Yeah.
Then you shouldn't be like hanging around with them in the first place. So I think that's a really important message, but it's really sad because a majority of today's society is like this.
I think that just saying be more authentic could be confusing
Yeah.
if you like really think about it, like what is me being authentic, you know?
Yeah.
If I take off these masks that I've had in different social circumstances,
Yeah.
how do I present myself now? Well, I guess that is your authentic
You need
self.
like to be around the right people.
Yeah.
But
I think you have obviously the big step to take is to liberate yourself from the judgment of others.
Yeah.
But that's hard
and like
because we like value
yeah,
what
exactly.
other people think of us, especially those who are close to us. And
Yeah. And it's like for me, I think the thing like we talk about comparing or thinking what others think of you, like other people's opinions.
Yeah.
That's often the main issue. But for me, that hasn't been my issue for a long time. That's not my issue. My issue has been that I especially have compared myself to others, like performance-wise, because, and that's again a quite common trait, especially in the fitness community. I have to look like this. I have to lift this. Otherwise, I'm not like enough and things like that.
Yeah.
That's more of like my reflections, and that those are things that I like improved a lot the latest years. But it's two major issues, I believe, within that. And but I think it started this self-growth journey when you, like I said, when you introduced me to anime.
Yeah.
Because that made me like realize I like anime because I like it.
Yeah.
Before I also thought, well, yeah, that's weird, and how could you like enjoy Japanese cartoons and things like. But I don't know. Afterwards, I enjoyed this, and after that, I embraced it. I enjoyed it, and I don't care what you think, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So after that, I really like got that first step.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have like any like traits or reflections you made upon yourself when it comes to like personal growth?
Well, I feel like, you know, we are 26 now.
Yeah.
And
Old men.
Older. Yeah, kind of. Getting there.
getting the cane.
Cane swag.
Yeah.
But I do like realize more and more like wasn't really fully developed until like 22, 23. And I feel like we're just keep on lowering and lowering the age where we become like adults.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're not. People are getting more and more cradled, protected from society. Back in the day, people had to take care of stuff.
Yeah.
At a young age, they had to become responsible. Oh, I'm now 19. I have my third child.
Yeah.
I have I have my own household.
Yeah.
Today I have to reap this what I've sown out on the field.
Yeah.
Otherwise my family will starve and die.
Yeah.
These days you have a 29-year-old something sitting in his mom's basement, not really having any responsibilities.
No.
But at the same time, there is that, like, you're not really an adult until you're like 22, 23, I feel.
And you're not supposed to, like, be more developed at earlier age, I think. But you bring up a terrific point there, as I talked about before in our, like, I think it was our earlier episodes, when I like asked you the question, where do you think our society or like mankind would be in like 50 years?
Yeah.
We talked about like how was it back in the day? Like you said, it was more practicality.
Yeah.
You actually did stuff.
Yeah.
You actually had to work. You had responsibility and things like that. I do believe the mindset and philosophy of mankind back in the day wasn't as effective though, because it was very black and white. But it has negative and positive sides. But I do believe if we turn it around, how would it like look in 50 years? I talked about that. I believe that technology and the digital like services will like drain us and kill our independency.
Yep.
I still believe that because it has already begun.
Yep.
It hasn't like been at that extreme as I like anticipated in 50 years yet, but it's still pretty bad.
Yeah, I think you can already see on younger generations the cause and effect that these new technologies are having.
Yeah. Because it's
where just basically the whole humanity is just now one big case study on technology's influence on mankind.
And I'm not saying the internet or technology is bad, because it isn't.
Progress as well.
It's a really powerful and effective tool, but use it as a tool then.
Yeah.
Don't use it as a drug.
Or a crutch.
Yeah, because that's what it is, and often when it becomes like this easy to access type of thing, it gets abusive.
Yeah.
And like I do believe if we don't start to limit certain types of like digital services on the internet, it will become a huge problem for the future.
Oh yeah.
And as we both we are occupational therapists. We work with like improving independence. We work with daily activities, daily routines that are like the most important thing in today's like life.
Yeah.
Because it really is important. And like the most common like causes and reasons behind mental health issues like depression, anxiety, even psychosis type of diagnosis is often lack of activity.
Yep.
Lack of stimuli. So easy as like, that's why I say just take a walk every day, and same with the like increasing motivation. Don't aim for the like result, aim for the process. Like try to maintain a like steady ground instead of like I'm a walk 1 hour on Friday. Just walk like 5-10 minutes every day instead. Like split it up into pieces, because it's way more attainable and easy to like achieve if you split it up. But I do believe we have to get more independent. We have to get more active. We have to get more wise. Start reading more books. Start reflecting both upon yourself and other people. Start to talk more. We are busy being on our phone. Talk with each other, because we not only like actually use our speech and language, we use our mind, we develop new like reflections, lessons, we learn through talking. We do, but that's something we need to like actually remember. So it just need to be balanced out more, I think. Like I said, I'm not saying stop using the phones, but use them for the right things.
Yeah, and one thing that these devices have.
Can you pass me the candy, by the way?
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
One thing that they have brought is like accessibility of contact.
Yeah.
Like we can like get in touch wherever, whenever.
Yeah.
And it's weird if someone doesn't get in touch or like reply or answer.
Yeah.
But if you think back like 20 years ago, you had like this cell phone at home. No, not a cell phone, landline phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the one way to get in touch. If someone wasn't home, they wouldn't be able to answer. Like, that was that. People was like, all right, they're not at home. But if you don't answer now, something is wrong. Right?
And often if somebody didn't answer, you went to their house.
Yeah.
Actually went there our day home and things like that. Boom, activity. But I don't know, it's like it has become the drug. Really has. And the reason why no one is realizing it is because they're hooked. It's a drug. That's what drugs do.
Well, it's very convenient, and you can get information and pass information so quick. It's like, why would you not use it, right?
Yeah.
Because it like effective. It speeds up this process. We can get shit done.
Yeah.
But what we are getting done might not be the best thing to.
No.
It might not be the best way to go about how we get this done.
And that's another thing that it truly has created, is this like need for comfortability. You have to be comfortable. It's really comfortable to like use the internet, use the social media. It's convenient, like you said, and that's something I've like come back to, especially in my talks. I talked about strive to be uncomfortable. And what I mean by that is like put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Put yourself in like, are you afraid of like social gatherings? Are you afraid of high heights? Are you afraid of a certain lift in the gym because it's heavy or scary? Anything. I'm not saying if you're afraid of heights, go bungee jumping, but just like you don't wanna be put in a uncomfortable position, like this is uncomfortable, this is hard. If you already do that by yourself, it won't be uncomfortable in the first place. So you have to make the uncomfortable situations comfortable, if you will. And that's a little like principle I've developed for myself the last years, and it's something I think that especially the social media and the like today's technology has created. Like you have to be so comfortable, but immediately when you get uncomfortable, it gets hard. No one likes to do hard things anymore. And that's really scary.
It is,
in a way. So I think that's one of the things we need to like actually start to implement. And therefore I'm getting back to the topic in almost every Ace Talk episode, because my Ace Talks are often like a documentation tool for myself. I don't care if somebody listens or likes the video. I appreciate it if you do, but it's things like this, like actually educating these types of topics that I truly believe is like world building and really important for both like personal growth but for the whole society, because it's often lack of knowledge in things like this that are just the main issue.
Many times when I started driving more here around, we live in a fairly small like town, but when I started driving I was still like, which way would be the easiest? Where will I have the least traffic? Where will I have the least like problems, least stops, least people, you know? But somewhere like maybe a couple of years ago, 4 years, 5 years, I don't know, I started thinking like, but what if I take this road? And the more I like, oh, what if I take that road? It's probably gonna be harder, but let's see what it happens. The more I took that road, the more confidence I got in my car and myself in my driving. So after a while I was like, I'll just take the hard road. When I was driving, I don't know if I've applied it to any other part of life, but this is one part where I've really like applied taking the hard road. That's driving my car.
And I agree, it's the same for me, because same with the car example, I haven't driven a lot in my life. It's like, first of all, I've only driven like automatic geared cars. And when I lived back in like my hometown, Närpio, then if I drove, it was very short distance. It was to work or the gym or something like that. And now I live in Vasa, it's like a lot bigger. It has like, I never driven in traffic with traffic lights before. It's not hard to do that, but just the like sake of doing it, like put in a new environment. It's like, I know the traffic rules and I know how to drive within this like traffic lights type of system. It's very easy to follow, but it's still a new thing. And I remember it wasn't scary, but it was really like uncomfortable at first, because I never driven here before. But now I like try to take new routes when I drive to work, to my girlfriend, to the gym or something like that, even though I don't know where it will lead me. And that's just a practice for me to like actually use my brain and like logic. How should I think now when like reaching this destination? Is it better to pull off here, or should I go straight to reach there faster? Because earlier I just took the like routes I knew. But I know this one, so I just took it.
I've driven here before.
But like you said, with confidence, I realized it as well when I like start to be more curious about things. My confidence started to improve. But and I think that's again is a quite important and big topic, curiosity. I've always said I've been quite curious when it came to
sexuality.
Okay.
Of
course. I'm not. No, I've been quite very curious when it comes down to like theoretical matters. I always want to like learn new things when it came to information, but never to practical things, because I was never put in practical situations, and therefore I'm not a practical guy. Easy as that. So that's something I'm working on as well. And the thing with confidence, it's something I like analyzed and read up upon a lot, especially now when I work in psychiatric care. It's like people try to like raise confidence. That's bullshit. You can't do that, because if we put it like this, take a baby for example.
Yes.
A baby has quite high confidence. It's quite energetic. It
Yeah.
doesn't. You are being born and you're like, I can't do this. I have low confidence. You don't see a baby like that. A baby has very high confidence.
Yeah.
But the thing that happens along the way, especially during our like early teenage years, even before that, then it happens like either childhood trauma, it could be like bullying or social avoidance, or like you're not being valued enough from your parents, stuff like that. Then your confidence is being like crippled, but it's still there. So when you say I have to raise confidence or improve confidence, it's just you have to work on the stuff that's pulling it down in the first place.
Yeah.
And that's something a lot of people like don't know either. But I don't blame them if you're not into like psychiatric care or don't work with it in the same way as I do.
Yeah.
It's very hard to know.
Yeah.
And therefore I'm like displaying it on this podcast as well. So that's something very, very good to think about.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. And as we talked about, today is like the Christmas special episode.
Yep.
So it will be like a little bit longer, but I think it's quite nice to discuss these kinds of topics. But next, I plan we could like both take several like green and red flags. We have both in, could be relationships, could also be like people overall, whether it's like romantic relationships or friendships.
Yep.
And then we have a couple of hot takes. I got written up here, and we could like discuss if we both think it's a hot take, and like especially like motivate our answers if we have different ones and things like that. But if we begin with the red and green flags, the first one is like being a Disney fan.
I think that depends on how you're a Disney fan. If you're obsessive and you have lots of Disney posters on your walls and you dress like a Disney character, then maybe a red flag. But if you just like the movies, green flag, I'd say. They make some good stuff.
Yeah. I can see that, but I still would see green and green, but I would never say it would be a red flag. I do think it's quite the green flag, because I'm quite the Disney or animation fan overall. And especially now, I think like if you enjoy it, I adore and respect.
Yeah. Well,
Respect it is like I don't judge something because you enjoy it. So I believe it's a green flag. But of course you could take it to the extreme.
Yeah.
But still I wouldn't like let that affect it that much.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's quite splitted.
Yeah.
And this next one is maybe quite silly for some people, but it's working out.
Yeah.
And I actually think if you don't work out or don't go to the gym, it's a red flag.
Oh, okay.
And it's quite silly, but I remember when we lived in Sweden, I like you remember this like meme, it's me or the gym.
Yeah.
There's this meme, if
you
you go to the gym a lot, and then you won't have time for your like partner, and you have to choose me or the gym. And I was like looking at this like, I would choose the gym every day in the week. And I don't know what it is, but it's such a big passion for me and such a huge part of my life. So but it's not super like icky.
Mm.
I mean, I could still be with a partner that doesn't work out, but it sure helps a lot if they do, and it's quite, especially it's very green flag if they do, because not only attractive trait for me, but it like makes my like approach to life easier as well, because then I can train with a partner, I can like discuss these types of topics with a partner and things like that. So it's quite the green flag if you work out, I believe.
Yeah.
And it shows that you like take care of yourself and things like that. And I say it's not that super red flag either. And when I say that, I mean you maybe don't train when we like meet for the first time.
Yeah.
But then we could like increase that, like ask the question, are you willing to start the workout? But if they then say, no, I don't want to train, I like don't care about that, then it may become an issue for me. How about you?
I think working out, if the person works out, that's a green flag. But not working out, and that's not a red flag for me either.
No.
I think each to their own. I think if they would say no to all physical activity, that's a red flag for me.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you want to start gymming with me, that's a green flag. If you want to do another activity with me, such as you want me to start doing, like swimming, badminton, tennis, whatever, I also find that as a green flag.
Yeah.
But some type of working
Activity.
out has to be in place.
Yeah, and it's like...
Or just the wanting to do that, I think is also good.
It's important to remember that you don't need or even should do everything together.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, because you should have separate lives.
Yes.
It's really important for like relationships to have that. But I'm just saying it sure helps a lot if you do have this, especially for me when it's my number one passion. But again, you don't have to. I can still be with someone that doesn't train.
Yeah.
But it's really like whether you are willing to work on it or not, or willing to start or not.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, this next one is also quite interesting. If this could especially be towards like romantic partners.
Yes.
Is it a red flag or a green flag for you if a partner don't use social media like at all?
I think for me that would be a green flag. Yeah, because I don't think there's no inherent value in social media. I don't see it as being something that gives you something. That you just look at other people.
Yeah.
You can do that on somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I think using social media isn't a red flag either for me. So I think somewhere in the middle is fine. You dabble a little bit. I dabble myself, so.
Yeah, I can only agree to that statement. It's like again, it's really healthy to withdraw from social media. But I still find there are some like apps and services that are good to have with each other. But like you don't need to have things like Twitter, Instagram or things like that. I do like the idea of like Snapchat, especially between romantic partners, because I meet my partner like physically like every day. But I still have that connection via Snapchat during the job, sending like messages throughout the day, keeps the connection. So that's nice, but other than that, I don't believe you need it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's like a red flag if you don't. So I would say green as well.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Let's see if we had some more. That was the last one on the red and green. Then we had some hot takes.
Okay.
Let's see what the audiences think about this one.
Okay.
Pineapple on pizza.
I say yes.
I say yes too. Let's go.
Hell yeah. I know a lot of people are gonna disagree.
Yeah, and I don't care because it's the best topping.
I also like to put some blue cheese on the pizza.
Oh, so okay, that's a hot take. Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I especially like it with pineapple as well. And
Yeah,
the blue cheese.
keep the pineapple. But
Okay.
it all comes down to like personal preferences,
Yeah.
of course. But it's like people going, oh, how could you put a fruit on a pizza?
Yeah.
Why would... I'm thinking like, if it's good, put it on.
Yeah.
It's like, I like pineapple, I like pizza. Put your hands together.
Pineapple pizza.
It's like, oh, that doesn't fit on pizzas, but how... Who determines that?
Yeah.
It's like, if you like both, why not try it together?
Yeah.
I still think there's a lot of like weird combinations out there. Let's say in Sweden in Sweden it's quite common to put banana on pizza.
Yes.
I still could eat that. I wouldn't say it's like super gross, but I prefer pineapple if we are putting fruits on a pizza.
Yeah.
But that was really weird when we saw that.
Yeah, that was the first time seeing that.
But there's
there's
kiwi on pizza as well, I
Yeah.
heard. But I don't know. I feel like the perfect pizza for me is like pineapple, some pepperoni. Really like pepperoni, and maybe some other type of like either beef or bacon or other meat source. I also could have eggs on pizza.
Yeah.
That
I
could
think
be really
that's
good. But I'm the type of guy like I really like meat. Like put as much meat as possible on my pizza.
Well,
And there's a lot of people that orders like a normal pizza with only lettuce. And it's like, what?
but I can see the charm of having a pizza with just like cheeses.
Yeah, I can still see it, but I prefer a lot of meats. I don't know if it's my
You like meat, huh?
yeah. I know. I just want the protein, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that will probably get a lot of hate, but I don't care.
It's fine.
We want haters, though. It motivates us.
Yes.
Okay. Next hot take is like protein powder with either milk or water. I think the hot take here is if you blend it with water.
Yes.
But it's like it depends what you start off with. Because
Yeah.
I've always like taken protein powder with milk.
I've never tried it with water.
I've tried it. I remember I tried it when I do my cuts.
Yeah.
I use water because milk is very high in calories, quite fatty.
Yeah.
I want to like limit that stuff, so then I can use it. But otherwise milk, because that's delicious. But I met a lot of people that's never even heard of like mixing it with milk.
Yeah.
It's like you've drinking it
weird.
with water all your life and you think, yeah. But I'm not here to judge. I still think
I think it's fine.
it's still good
I-
with
I-
water.
I haven't tried it with water,
Yeah.
but I see the like utility.
Yeah.
Of only having it with water.
Yeah, I think it's quite good if you enjoy drinking it with water. And like I said, I still do enjoy it if I mix it with water. But if I like can choose, I choose milk. Because and it depends on the flavor.
Yeah.
Some flavors doesn't mix at all with water. Some doesn't mix at all with milk.
Yes.
And things like I would never mix like a vanilla flavor with water. and there's probably some I would never mix in milk. I don't know which ones yet, but I think it goes both ways.
Yes.
So it all depends.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's a hot take, but I thought I would put it on, see what you thought.
I like it with milk.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, let's see. Next hot take is Android is better than Apple. Go.
Well,
I know you have the iPhone and you enjoy it.
yeah, well, for a long time, the longest time, I was an Android user.
You were
I don't know.
You were on the correct side of the...
But then, on a fine summer eve, it was actually during a day, I bought an iPhone back in 2021.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I liked it a lot. I liked the feel. I liked the look.
Do you like the price?
I did not like the price, but it was very. I don't know. It's good, but I can see how it's like a bit overpriced. The iPhones. Yeah, and I mean they restrict some stuff on them too, but I don't have any specific things that I can think of. But I think if you just want something that works straight out of the box, go with an iPhone. If you like to tinker and mix with settings and you want to have all your shit customized, get yourself an Android phone.
Yeah,
So, that's
a good like reflection upon that. Yeah. Well, I've never had an iPhone. I've actually never had an Apple product my whole life. I don't know what it is. I always said, like, even if I haven't tried a single Apple product, I would never get one. I don't know what it is. It's like a lot of it is the price, I think.
Yeah, that is a big hurdle. But
and
once you get over that, you're in.
I haven't, like I said, I haven't tried one, so I'm not here to like say any like bad stuff about it.
But I think you can say like the prices are a little bit
the price are like very high for it, and that's why I have a OnePlus. Best phone I've ever had. I think I will get another OnePlus, but more new and updated version.
Yeah.
Because I feel at least that it's not worth to pay that much more, because I feel it's not. Yeah, there are some features that could be better with an iPhone, but I feel it's not something I need to pay that much money to get, because I'm very pleased with the Androids, all of them really, especially the OnePlus. But there's one reason if I would get an iPhone, it's because of the camera.
Yeah, it shoots great videos.
Yeah, I've seen when we used your phone, we're using it right now.
Yes.
It's tremendous quality.
Yeah.
So that's something I would really want. But the other things I'm pleased with.
Yeah.
Because I care a lot about like camera, both like photo and video, because I film a lot. So I don't care that much about the other stuff. Care about the camera and of course how fast and high quality and processing and things like that. But
and I have a very like biased perspective, because I had only used like fairly cheap Android phones.
yeah,
So going from like a cheap Android phone to an expensive iPhone, that's going to skew my perspective.
Yeah, of course.
Like I haven't had that expensive Android phone perspective.
No.
So obviously I'm going to be like, yeah, this was great.
Yeah. And this OnePlus is in that range.
Yeah.
It's a bit more expensive than the like maybe cheaper Samsungs or things like that.
But I mean, even if you're getting like the top of the line OnePlus, top of the line Samsung, well, you're going to pay almost as much these days as an iPhone.
Yeah,
so.
and I'm still. It's like I say the price is the problem, while I also like to buy things that are very pricey.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I hate cheap things, but
Yeah.
we could say if we talk about clothes, for example,
Yeah.
I value fashion a lot.
Yeah.
So I like to almost always buy the not just expensive, but like the brand, the like high quality brands. When it comes down to like clothes, I like to wear very aesthetically pleasing attires. So therefore, but that's something I've like explored a little more
Yeah.
latest years, like buying cheaper things,
Yeah.
like just buying for comfortability
Yeah.
instead of pure aesthetic.
Yeah.
I still like the like fashion and like to look good, but
Yeah.
I've always purchased clothes like only for the looks,
Yeah.
not for the comfortability. So that's
Like these
something.
pants I'm wearing right now. I bought these for
But
5.
those are both. Those are probably very comfortable and look good as hell.
Yeah, I bought them for €5 at the thrift shop.
Let's go.
So I haven't really been a thrifter, but my girlfriend sort of introduced me to thrift shopping, and I feel like I'm not going back.
No.
It's cheap. It's almost like buying them new.
Yeah.
And on the men's side of thrift shopping, there's a lot of quality items, a lot cheaper than buying them like new. But it's a bit harder for women because there's a lot more cheap clothes in the thrift shop. But I feel like on the men's side, there's like generally pretty like expensive stuff. Like there's good items there.
Yeah.
Like they weren't the worst quality pants.
No.
They were like mid-range, I'd say,
Yeah.
and they looked to be in fairly decent condition.
Yeah.
$5. So I was like, I tried them on. They fit. Okay, I buy.
Let's go.
But there's a certain feeling you get when you buy something brand new as well.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of dopamine.
Yeah.
But
It is.
it's fun to thrift as well.
Yeah.
You can really find some good stuff. I haven't found a lot, these pants being one of the things I've found, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same for me. I've actually learned this, like to explore more comfortability from my girlfriend, because she uses like also this like aesthetically pleasing as well, but she prioritizes comfortability way more.
Oh, okay.
So from her I also learned like styles I even didn't know about that I like look good in or things like that. I don't know what it's in English, but flannel.
Yeah, it's flannel.
Flannel.
I think it's just flannel.
Yeah. So I started buying more like flannel shirts.
Flannels are nice. I like flannels.
Yeah, I never tried them because again I never tried them, so I didn't know.
I hadn't really tried them either until we had a like special party in Sweden where we were supposed to dress up as farmers.
Oh yeah.
So I bought a flannel and I was like, this slaps.
Yeah.
I like it. And I've used that flannel a shit ton. So, but
same with that, I purchased pajamas pants like for the evening, for more cozy.
Yeah.
And they're really comfortable, but it's like I never thought about it in that way because I always looked at how good does it look. I never cared about. Yeah, it may be uncomfortable, but that doesn't matter. So that's
Speaking of pajamas and sleeping, how do you feel about sleeping naked?
Okay, this is a doozy. I love it.
Yes.
I think it isn't that common for a lot of people. But I actually stumbled upon this to sleep naked from a friend of mine a couple of years ago. But we talked over Discord like online, and he said like that he sleeps naked, and like I asked, what's the like difference and all that stuff, and he said, yeah, it's comfortable and I sleep way better, and then it was like, it can't be that much difference. So I gave it a shot. I slept commando.
Yeah.
And best night of sleep I ever gotten in my whole life.
Yes.
So it's like there could still be some nights that I don't do it, but most of the time I sleep naked nowadays, because I don't know, I actually wanted to like deep dive and actually read up how this works. Why is this the case?
I think it's because it's
the
easier.
temperature change.
The temperatures, it's easier for the body to self-regulate under the cover. You know, if it's another cover, if you have you're packaged up with some socks and pants and or underwear or something like that.
I don't know. It's like the quality is tremendous.
I've been sleeping naked for maybe, I don't know, a long ass time. I think I even started before going to the military, but then when you're in the military, you're sleeping in a room with like 10 other dudes.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe not now. So then it was a year that I didn't get to do it. But I've been sleeping naked for a long time, and I'm never going back. I ain't going back, because I put something on and try to sleep. It ain't happening. I gotta be naked.
True. Yeah, but yeah, that was a tremendous change, because I couldn't believe it. And I even sometimes, like I said earlier, I take zinc magnesium pills before I go to sleep. So it's like taking these zinc magnesium pills, and the sleeping commando is like that's a good sleep.
Yes.
And I feel like big difference the nights I actually put some like boxers or something more on when I sleep. I still can sleep with that, but it's like taking it off is like huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge.
I'm not going back. If you haven't tried it,
Try it.
Try it.
Yeah. And that was like one of the things we wanted to discuss in the next topic.
Oh.
Which is, but we covered it now, and it's like I have a list here of like it could be anything, and what I want you to do now, I will do it as well. Is do you think it's overrated, underrated, or accurately rated?
Yes.
And again, like with the hot takes and red green flags, like motivate why you answered as you answered. Okay. So the first one is sushi. What do you think about that?
Wait, what was the rating system again?
Like, is sushi over, underrated, or is it accurately rated? Like,
I think it's accurately rated.
Yeah. It's hard to tell. I think it's slightly underrated, but again, it's quite accurately depends on the culture.
Yeah.
Here in Finland, I think it's underrated. But if we go to Japan, of course, it's another story. But I feel a lot of people hate on sushi, and I don't like that. It's the best cheat meal, even if you will.
Yeah.
It's so delicious. I choose sushi over a burger every day in the week. I don't know.
I don't even consider it a cheat meal.
No, me neither. But I think it's classified as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next one
is burgers.
Burgers. I think overrated, because especially now they're making them like this tall. Like, how am I supposed to bite?
Yeah.
Hello? Make it flat and wide. Then I'll be like, yes.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it's overrated.
Especially if you're going to get something like McDonald's, then you're eating like
and
shit.
I'm gonna get shit for this from a particular friend. I have a friend that's really into burgers. He goes like around the, not around the country, but he likes to explore new joints and places with burgers. Like
joints or
you know the joints.
Yeah.
And I think if he hasn't changed, but I think he really loves like smashed burgers. And it's especially the smashed burgers I think is overrated.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I still enjoy them, but if I want a burger, I want that thick steak, thick beef.
Okay.
I think it's so boring if it's like paper thin. Where's the meat? I don't know, but
you can get like a double or a triple, you know.
Yeah, but it's still not as juicy, man.
Okay.
But again, like with the potatoes, it's like I think it's a little boring with this like it's not much variation with a burger. Yeah, you could put in different ingredients. But it's like, I don't know, I enjoy them from time to time.
I actually really enjoy
But it's
burgers.
more of a thing I like want to eat like maybe once or twice a month.
Oh.
I could eat sushi many times a week. So it's like, but it's about personal preferences, what you enjoy. I enjoy burgers again, but I don't know. I think I enjoyed them more in the past.
Yeah.
But I've grown out of them, if you will. But yeah. And the next one was Sleeping Naked, but I think we both think it's underrated.
Yes, it is underrated.
Yeah. The next one is reading books.
Underrated.
Hell yeah. Especially now, because in this modern era, when, as we discussed, when we all like use our phones way too much and forget about like accountability, responsibility, doing things practically.
Yes.
I think reading books is not just a good thing to have in your like schedule. It's I would say it's mandatory, it's essential. Yeah. It's like, okay, what am I gonna do if you don't read books? But as you said, I think you said it earlier about you have to read something.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be a book, but you read just because you're reading something, it
stimulates the mind.
Yeah. Yeah, and
it's a skill that you practice,
it's a skill.
and it's so, in a way it's practical.
Yeah.
You know, you're practicing.
Because
reading it.
I talked about this maybe 2 episodes ago that I started to pick up more books.
Yeah.
I decreased my phone time, still use it, but not as much. And I started to read more books.
Yes.
Mostly psychological books, but still read more.
Yeah.
And just only a week after I started to read more books, I started to like see quite significant changes in my concentration, my focus, my cognitive levels.
Yes.
But I can still improve, but there was quite big changes.
Yeah.
I noticed that quite early on, so and that also shows how much it like limits our potential.
Yeah. I could see if you have like a work where you have to read like 60 pages a day or some shit like that, you might not want to read anymore when you get at home. But then you sort of get it there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Let's see. Okay. Next is Sam Zulek.
Sam Sulek? I don't know.
What you think?
It's I think he seems like a great guy. He seems very genuine.
Yeah.
And I think he has like enjoyable content. But at the same time, I think it's overrated, and he's sort of promoting the use of anabolic substances, which I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of, to be honest.
No.
And I think he is like exacerbating a problem that already existed, and it's just getting worse.
Yeah.
it's not his fault though. He's just a cogwheel in the machine. He's another victim of the system, I guess you could say, because the man is clearly gifted and could have taken his abilities very far as a natural athlete.
Oh yeah.
And think he would have been a specimen without steroids as well.
Yeah. I agree with that. I haven't watched Sam's videos that much, so I'm maybe not the right person to like tell. But I agree with your points that he's like it's enjoyable content,
Yeah,
for sure, and it's a quite specific template he's using, as I think is very important when you create content. Something I tried as well with my like Ace Talks. I wanted to create this unique template. It's inspired by this Ivan guy, as I said, like the background and overtelling type of content. But back to Sam is like you said, he's promoting very unhealthy substance.
yeah,
Because I'm not a big fan of steroid use either. I've always said I thought it was like unnecessary. So I actually never said it was like a big no-no, but I still think it's a big no-no. But because I just don't see the point of it. Yeah, for some I could see, but not for me. Because you can strive for tremendous lengths naturally.
Yeah.
You don't need it, and if I would take it, I feel I would throw everything in the garbage that I worked for. You still have to work even harder.
Probably, yeah.
Even a lot harder if you take steroids. But it still feels like boost or extra help that I don't need.
It's you're not like actually getting what you're getting. You're sort of building. It's like chemical building. I don't feel like it's bodybuilding, because if you really know about the history of bodybuilding wasn't just about having big muscles. They saw it as the more muscle I can build, the healthier I will get.
Yeah.
And back in the day, bodybuilding was also, how good is your skin, your mustache, how strong are your joints.
It wasn't just about muscles.
It's the whole system and body.
It was like the whole body as a whole.
Yeah.
Not just like I said, not just like the muscle, but as a sculpture.
Yeah.
You try to sculpture your body, not just with the physical we see, like the like skin or like joints or muscles and things like that. Everything, every detail. I think it was really great in the like OG bodybuilding.
I think pre-steroid
Yeah.
bodybuilding was like the shit. That's actually
it was
really nice.
It was pure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my thought. But again, I haven't seen that much of Sam. So I can't like tell the whole story here or create a like valuable opinion here. But according from the things I've seen. And I do want to add that before we move on, that he has enjoyable content, but not. He could even have educational content, but not that healthy. And I think that's like the perfect recipe. You need, especially in the fitness community, take individuals like maybe Jeff Nippard, for example. Both were enjoyable to watch and still like very educational.
Yeah.
He backs everything up with great scientific like evidence.
Yeah.
But what Jeff does really great is like the problem with adding too much scientific like evidence to your videos, to your claims.
Yes.
It easily could become boring to watch.
Yeah.
But Jeff, even if he doesn't do this like skits, like humoristic like scenes where he backs the claims up, he still could be enjoyable to watch, even if he's more serious. It's like he's got a good character.
He does.
So I don't know, but it's not just Jeff. It's plenty more out there. But you need both, like education and enjoyability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be cut and dry, as they say.
And try.
What's next?
We have quite a few, but I think
Should we jump to the last topic? I think so.
Yeah, I will choose one here without you seeing it.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about like fitness things.
Yeah.
We could
Tell me about it.
Okay, I think we'll take meditation.
Meditation? Okay.
What do you think about it?
I've tried meditation, and I do see the benefits. I've always felt very, very calm after meditating. I haven't really seen like any focus benefits, like concentration benefits. So it's, I think it's, I'm neutral to positive on that one.
Okay. Like
So
I said,
maybe slightly underrated. I
I'm
don't know.
I'm not sure
Hard to say.
how it's rated in today's
Yeah,
like,
true.
culture,
Yeah.
but I have a very positive picture of it, so I
Yeah.
will say it's quite underrated.
Mm.
You mentioned the focus, but
Yeah.
I meditate almost daily. Not long periods of time, maybe like 10 minutes before I go to sleep,
Yes.
just to calm the mind, because again, not as much anymore though, but especially before I had quite active, even overactive mind. So the meditation was a great tool for me to like calm myself before sleep and therefore get way better sleep. But I don't know, it teaches you to like self-reflect. It creates a sense of instinct over yourself while meditating. So I never did it for the like focus thing. That could be good for some too. That's not why I did it. I wanted to try it. It depends why you're doing it. But yeah, I feel it quite pleasing and effective for me. I started doing it for my sleep. I didn't have like bad sleep, but I still wanted to explore different ways to make it even better.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it's the quality that I improved now due to that. Like it's like many things. It's meditation, sleeping commando, adding supplements like ZMA, things like that.
Yes.
Drinking more water before sleeping. Yeah. And the combination of all of it is like it's really effective. And I notice when I don't have just one of those things, I easily notice it. I can sleep without it, but
Yes.
I notice huge changes in like could be both recovery and quality. So I think it's quite beneficial. I think the problem with meditation is that people don't know how to meditate properly. They think it's like just sitting or doing this and like just thinking of nothing. It's like, no, it's not that. You need to like really get in touch with yourself while you're doing it. Focus on your breathing, gathering your thoughts, and just getting in touch with that like spiritual side of yourself.
It's a lot about your senses, different senses. How you feel. How can you feel your senses?
Because it's like first times I meditated, I used this guide type of thing, like a video where they explain how you should do it, because if you don't have that, it's very hard to learn how to do it properly, because it's a lot about like not just relaxing the muscles and the whole body, but really letting it go. And when you achieve that correctly, it's like holy shit. It's really soothing and like calming.
There are
really
different methods, different versions. I
different,
think maybe my favorite one would be like the Wim Hof method. I think I like that one as a meditation method, and that one might have some biological benefits as well. Like, you know, stronger immune system or whatever. But I can see the like real benefit of like actual what we think of this meditation, like it's trying to really
it's a little
get in tune with your senses.
It's a little twisted image of meditation. Like I said, people actually don't realize what meditation is.
No, they don't.
And it's also huge for stress relief, which also I have seen. It's like if I have a day which I have more going on, or just naturally are more stressed in general, and I need to calm down because I can't sleep if I have way too much going on, then I use meditation, and that really not just fixes it, but it's really calms me down. So I think that's really, really important. So if you use it right, it's really beneficial, but it's very difficult to learn it in the beginning, like in the correct way. And as you said, there's different types of meditation. I would also like to use some method in meditation for, let's say, clients with depression, anxiety, especially anxiety. There's this like letting go technique a lot of people use in stress relieving meditation, that they maybe while they're meditating they could this is guided by a professional, of course, but the guide often likes talks and connects specifically to often traumatic experiences, and really focuses on the process of letting go of that things that's maybe holding you back, maybe are actively pushing you down in your mind. That's what anxiety often does. So that's a really effective technique as well. It's not a technique I've performed myself, but something I've started to read up on more. I mostly just do the like calming myself down before I sleep, but yeah, it's a really good method. That was it for like overrated and underrated things, and we had quite a long episode now.
I think we have to wrap it up.
And I thought we would finish. We're gonna keep this short. But we would like just to explain for you, the viewers, and like discuss what our plans are like within Southwest. What's in the plans for Southwest Aesthetics?
I think we're definitely going to continue the podcast. I like this format. I like sitting here and talking. It's enjoyable, I think, for ourselves. And maybe someone out there enjoys it as well. I would like to get a little bit more of like specific videos. But we need to get some equipment and stuff to figure that out.
And as we talked about before, you don't maybe know this as you, the viewers, but outside here, we're at my place now. There's some like construction going on. They're rebuilding my balcony. They're expanding it, so it's gonna get a lot bigger. They're already done that, but they're like still making and building on the glass and a little bit on the roof still.
Yeah.
But the plan was there when it's already like in January, maybe over 1 month maybe. We will try to like make our own podcast studio.
Yeah, do a little balcony podcast.
Put a couch and more like really cozy, pleasant environment on the balcony.
Yeah.
And also get an upgrade to our like auditive equipment, like get new microphones, maybe more like wireless, so we can talk with more separate recordings.
A little bit more freedom. Yeah.
So that's the plan for that. And as I teased in this and previous episodes, I'm currently writing a book. It is a book or a memoir. Actually about Southwest aesthetics, how it came to be, how it started, what it is getting to. But the book is also about specifically me and how I have grown and how I started, and like my reflections within both training and life. As we talked about many things about like self and personal growth, and as the psychological thinker and worker I write a lot about about issues and topics that could help the readers as well. That's very important to address for most of people. So it's like a reflection from when we started, and even things earlier on from my childhood and earlier years that has affected me upon this day. So it's really interesting. I've written almost 30 pages now.
That's some progress.
Yeah, and I get like new topics almost every day just from different like interactions. So I will at least strive for 100 pages. I mean, between 90 and 120 pages is pretty normal for a memoir, I think.
Yeah.
So I would try to like aim for that range.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's going great.
Okay, let's say hypothetically 2025 summer rolls around, would you be that's not next year.
No,
that's the year after next year.
Yeah.
How do you feel about doing a bodybuilding show? Getting sliced and diced. And I feel like we should host a bodybuilding show.
Ooh.
More a male beauty pageant.
Yeah.
And we are not allowed to participate.
No.
But we're going to get diced, jacked, shredded, succulent, engorged.
You got any more words for me?
Voluptuous.
Humongous.
Rotund. Yeah, you get the point. But I think like we have a little guest posing from ourselves, or host posing.
Hell yeah.
Where we do some side-by-side posing.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, because we did the like powerlifting meets.
Yes.
We still could have more powerlifting meets, but not right now. It's not in the plans. It was really fun though.
Yeah.
So maybe in the future, but I really like that approach as well.
And I think it shouldn't be like 100% a bodybuilding show either, because bodybuilding shows are unhealthy in a sense that they get so diced that they like take almost from their own life.
And they don't get shredded, boys.
Don't get stupid yacky shredded. But I think we should also have something like one show of strength and like vigilance, something like that, along with a physique competition where you display your physical appearance as well.
That's a really good idea.
Something like that.
Something like that.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
also we would be the judges.
I like to judge.
Yes. We'd have to bring in at least another judge, so we're 3. But
You're thinking maybe Siban?
see. Maybe. We'll
Maybe.
see. We'll
Maybe Simon.
we could see. Yeah, I think he's a jacked and
Simon Lindén, shout out.
He's
Go check him out, both YouTube and
got a
Instagram.
nasty physique. I want to see him up on stage.
Yeah, man, he's got a really good physique.
But wait, he can't judge if he's on stage, so he's not the judge. I think he has to be on stage.
He's actually moving on to more calisthenic types of things. I saw on his social media.
Nice.
Training the muscle ups, training the more body weighted calisthenic training. That's really interesting. Yeah. Should we end this episode with a double, what is it? Double front bicep?
Yeah.
A
Do
flex.
double front biceps.
Yeah.
I'm out angling you a little bit here.
Is that even possible? Okay.
All right.
But I think it's time to sign off.
We are signing off.
Signing off. See ya. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy New
Christmas.
Year. Peace.